Hello guys, I'm Rucky. Welcome to the studio once again. Today it's gonna be a simpler video, but hopefully very useful. Even though I had plans for something else, I ended up having a good idea for this video. So you'll see me working on a Draw This in Your Style challenge for SVV on Instagram. And they put up this really cute character for a style challenge, and I decided to take part. So at first I thought that I wanted to do something way more complicated than it needed to be. So I started sketching something that would be related with a washing machine full of candy or full of flowers or full of something. But I started this drawing in the beginning of the week, and when I picked it up again, and there was just something that I was not like vibing with. I thought that even though the idea was good, it would be like either taking the idea to the full extension of it and making a whole background, or it would honestly be better to keep things simple, not wanting to do too much on something that can be beautiful in its own simple way. Like yesterday I was like in bed and I was thinking about this piece and I was like, oh, I gotta finish it. But I was thinking in my mind, like, there's something about it that is not working out, and I know what it is, and I think it's the fact that I want to make an half-assed background. Like, I don't want to have the struggle to go through the whole process of drawing a full background, and I don't want to like make it totally simple. But honestly, like, I kind of deconstructed this idea, and I decided that, well, the reference provided is a simple portrait. But sometimes it's just good to see the exact same piece in a different style from another artist. So I was thinking, yeah, maybe I want to take this so far, and it doesn't need to go so far to be good. A rich lesson that I learned with the process of this piece and finishing this piece is that a lot of times less is more. So to make this video interesting, actually, I want to give you like the whole breakdown of my painting process. I picked Draw This in Your Style for this specific theme because the colors are picked out, so I don't have to really justify that part that it's something that I really struggle with. So like everything is kind of simple, so I can focus on explaining the process of the painting itself. So let's get into it. Here, as you can see, I am simplifying the piece finally, like just making it a simple portrait. Like, it doesn't need more. My Lineart concept is really around something sketchy polished, you know what I mean? Like, not totally sketchy, not totally polished. It's not perfect, it's pretty rough, and I try to make it crisp, but not totally like messy. But I love some like black shading and some sketchy lines randomly. Like, that's my vibe. So yeah, I use paint tools for everything. Total fucking paint tool snob. And I know I'm missing out on so many tools, like from Photoshop, maybe Clip Studio, maybe Procreate, just because it feels so good with the Cintiq. A little side note, the character has a heart-shaped shaved part in the hair, but the first time I saw it, I thought it was like candy. So yeah, that's gonna be like, I kind of look at it now and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so dumb. But at the same time, like, it's kind of cute, so I'm fine with it. I'm not mad at it at all. So here you see that I'm just like applying the colors. I select the parts that I want to color and I just throw the base colors there. since my line art is black and I don't usually mess up with a line art color, I decided to make the black less dark so I wouldn't lose the line work in the hair and in the shirt. So the way I paint the eyes, it's pretty simple and it always works. I just apply a darker base color and I use some gradient to paint half of the eye, so like from bottom up, with a lighter tone or another tone, like completely different. It really depends on what I'm feeling like. What I do after is I use a way darker tone to an outline for the outside of the eye, and then I use a lighter tone to outline the pupil, and then I shade with the skin color on multiply, as you can see, and I apply highlights over the top layer in just white, actually, like white. So for the skin, let's go through the skin. I go to my very important references folder and I pick up an Asaru head. You can see the planes of the face. It's honestly the best kind of references, and you can find this online with multiple like different types of lighting intersecting into it, so you can like reference it pretty good. The first thing that I do is applying a little bit of blush, and I set it to multiply, and I just take away a lot of opacity. It's just something really subtle. And the only tools that I use for painting is selection, airbrush. That's it. That's as simple as that. And I start by selecting the parts that I think that the shading is gonna be darker. So in this case, I use like a desaturated dark blue, but I could have used another color, even a red. Sometimes it kind of works, but since I didn't want to experiment too much, I'm just gonna stick to blues. I'm just gonna stick to the basics. The important thing is, do not shade your stuff with black. Then I make another layer under the dark shading layer, and I start I start following the shapes and the planes of the face, looking at my reference, trying to observe it as good as possible. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to patiently color it according to what the reference is showing me. That's literally it. It's 2 layers, the under layer for the most subtle shading, and a top layer with the most dark shades. As you can see, I am just like looking at the reference and basically copying the reference. That's it. That's what I'm doing. Then I make another layer, an overlay layer, that it's either gonna be white. It really depends on how the overlay is going to behave on top of the skin color. So like I tried with white at first, but it was like coming out way too white. So I changed it to a light blue. As you can see, I am just simply looking at the reference, applying the color where I think the plane is correct, and yeah, going with the flow. Lastly, for the skin, I apply little highlights, and here goes a little tip that I think it looks really pretty. I create a layer under the shine layer, the shiny layer, and I outline it with the same skin tone in multiply. For the hair, here we go. I select the whole thing, and I deselect the parts where the light goes, basically, as you can see. But I was like struggling a little bit because I'm not used to painting really short hair. So yeah, I kind of just like freestyled it. I didn't exactly know how to do it. But yeah, as you can see, now I'm just going through the little accessories thingies. I'm just kind of painting intuitively, nothing too much. I didn't exactly know what I was aiming for, so I guess I just followed my heart. At this point, I just did whatever. After finishing the coloring on the character, I went back to doing something complicated. Like, oh god, I cannot stop myself. I needed to add like a stupid square there, or maybe outlining the whole character. And I thought, Jesus, stop. You don't need that. You don't need to overcompensate your piece with information just to make it look good. It already looks good. Accept it, Rucky, come on. But yeah, so I took everything off, I wrote my name, and then I was trying to play around with my name so it would like occupy space, so my piece would be more interesting. Again, I am so like, sometimes I just become so insecure about the whole thing. I think like it's never enough, and that's such a toxic behavior sometimes. Like, I cannot stop myself from keep going, and the problem is the more I go, most times the worse it looks. And it's not like it's gonna look worse, it's just not worth so much effort. Sometimes you don't need to go so far to have something really good. But I ended up applying a trail of smoke to the lollipop because I was feeling that the white part of my piece was unbalancing things out. I felt that something was missing. Smoke is my thing, so it kind of worked out. It's not distracting, it is actually balancing the piece. So yeah, it turned out good. Sometimes when I finish a piece, I just apply like little outlines where I think it's appropriate, so I can like kind of try to use that as a guide to where I want the viewer to look at first. So outlining the neck kind of enhances the face. That's exactly where I want them to look at first. Honestly, I'm quite proud of this piece. The colors turned out like they are working in my favor 100%. I know it was not like my pick, but I think I made a very good choice by applying pink to the eyes, because it really guides the viewer in a very like consistent and great way. There's no like many distractions. You can tell the face is the first thing you gotta look at. Yeah, I'm quite proud of this one, not gonna lie. So yeah, this is gonna wrap up today's video. I hope I helped you somehow. I teached you something new today, even though I don't feel very confident teaching anything because I don't feel like fundamentals. You know, I'm kind of repeating myself, but I'm not exactly a teacher. I'm just showing how my stuff works, so maybe it will work for you and your art. So yeah, I really hope this helped you somehow, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, I kindly, politely ask you to subscribe, because I am really trying to stay consistent and posting once a week, even though this video is already kind of late. But yeah, And you have my socials in the description and my channel. I recommend you watching my video about social media. I think I'm very proud of that video, even though it came out of like a very bad situation and a very bad breakdown. I think it's a inspirational thing that might help you too. So yeah, see you guys, I don't know, next week, next Sunday. Mwah.